remember, and we're going to talk about this a lot, the unofficial stance of China is support Russia, don't support Ukraine, don't support the West. I mean, we saw that last week. We showed you the leaked document that was put out to all the media. You may not show pro-Ukraine, pro-Western stuff, and you may not show any anti-Russia media.
China is currently denying all of this,
Yeah.
literally trying to crucify anyone. I shouldn't say literally; they're not actually doing that.
No.
They're trying to crucify anyone that actually says that.
Yes.
That says, "Hey, you're not allowed to support Ukraine. You're only allowed to support Russia." They're trying to call that fake news because they're doing the simultaneous thing. They're trying to have their cake and eat it too.
Yeah, we're like with COVID.
Right. They're trying to tell their people at home, yes, we support Russia. Domestically here, we absolutely put everything we do behind Russia. To the rest of the world, they want to say, oh, we absolutely did not take a stance here. Yeah. And we will prove to you. This is, I mean, this is just one little instance of proof. It's important, though.
Shows. I mean, you saw that the Canadian embassy put out the Stand with Ukraine banner outside their embassy.
Yeah.
Within hours, it was defaced and vandalized, and people wrote like F NATO on it, and they came and put like umbrellas in front of it to try and block it and stuff.
So pathetic.
It really is. And
so, yeah, but
I mean, overwhelmingly online, the support for Russia has been overwhelming.
Yeah.
And now they have to dial it back. They weren't allowing any pro-Ukrainian stuff, but now they're like, oh shit, now Russia's not doing as well as we thought. Let's dial it back a bit and allow a little bit of this Ukrainian stuff, and let's pretend that that's the way it was the whole time.
Just before we get into the actual segment about that, I just wanted to explain some of the thought process so that you guys can understand, is that China put its backing behind Russia for a couple of reasons. Number one is because authoritarians stick together when faced with adversity, right? So when you have an entire situation where the whole world is banding together against you, China with the genocide in Western China, Russia with the invasion of Ukraine, China has to say, hey, listen, actually, other than fair weather friends that we've made through the Belt and Road Initiative, just through debt traps and stuff that actually don't even like us that much, we're in a position where we can't throw away any opportunity, even for a temporary ally, right? So when Putin also looks at the situation and says, hey, sorry, Putin, people keep making fun of because I keep saying Putin. Putin looks at the situation and says, oh, shit, I did not expect the entire world to join up with Ukraine and say, completely demonize this invasion. They both kind of look at each other and they say, listen, we're the best we can do. We're the best we got. So let's try to weather this storm together. And what happens is, because of authoritarian leadership, someone like Putin will get orders and directions and all this kind of stuff from his military intelligence, from this person, from this person, from this person. But in authoritarian leadership, no one wants to face the consequences of being wrong. So this person lies, this person lies, this person lies, this person lies, and the chain of command. So they think, hey, we're going to steamroll them in a few days. Wow, I didn't realize it was going to be this hard. Wow, I didn't know the supply chains would be this bad. Wow, I didn't think we'd run out of gas and these tires would fail. Wow, I didn't expect this. Why did the Russian intelligence tell me that the whole world wasn't going to care about this that much? All of that stuff proved to be wrong. Yeah. And that's what happens in an authoritarian chain of command. So China operates exactly the same way. And I think a good analogy you guys can understand is Chernobyl. Look at how that happened. Russia hasn't changed a whole lot since then, and neither has China, right? China works exactly the same way. You have the leadership at the top surrounded by yes men that are refused to give any bad news to Xi Jinping or the Xi Jinping clan, like the circle. So you have really misinformed opinions that lead to disasters, right? Yeah. And then you have these really bizarre alliances like with China and Russia that are currently forming that are probably temporary, but leading to this disaster that we're about to talk about.
There's another thing that just shows the overwhelming support for Putin. Putin's being shown as a hero in China. There's so many voices on social media that have been supporting him. I don't know if you saw my video from earlier this week where I showed the people online calling him a hero and handsome and amazing. If you take a look, this was yesterday, the WeChat Read is kind of, I guess it's like Kindle or something along those lines where you can read books online. The number 2 best-selling book right now, the number 2 most popular book is Putin's autobiography. And I know, right? Well, they love this shit. Xi Jinping thought must have been number 1 for like forever, because it has to be. But, that just shows you that there's anyone who is even trying to convince you that China's just a middleman here and not taking sides needs to just piss off, because the evidence is so clear of what we've been seeing come out of China on the internet and about the support. They did that poll, 53 point something % of people supported the invasion. Only 15% of the people polled didn't support the invasion. All right? You've got the schools teaching those little kids. You've got little school children shouting about how, look at how the Ukraine had so much military power and was so great. And the teachers are making little, 6-7-year-old kids shout out this stuff, like how much military hardware the Ukraine had and how powerful they were. But look how quickly they turned into such a disaster and a useless country. And that's why we Chinese need to stand, together, and we have to cut ourselves off from the rest of the world, basically. They're teaching the kids this. Everyone's in support of Putin. It's disgusting what's going on in state media. They've been blaming the US and NATO and all this kind of shit from the get-go, and they still are, for Putin invading the Ukraine, without ever thinking that the Ukraine itself is its own country that can make its own decisions as to whether it wants to join NATO or whether it wants to join Russia, or whatever they want to do. It's their choice at the end of the day.
Now, just so we don't get lost in sauce here, if you want to come up with examples of scholars and stuff saying, there's a reason this all happened and all this kind of stuff, that's great. That's fine. Not discounting that. But this video is more about China's involvement with this whole thing. And Winston and I can both say, we can both speak from the heart and say that we oppose invasion. That's just not a good thing. Russia invading Ukraine is not something that should have happened.
That's something, you know what? Every country that's invaded another country has always had a good reason to do it.
Yes.
Okay, it doesn't matter which country it is. Hitler had a good reason to invade Poland, in his mind.
Yes.
Okay? And the same reason that Russia has a good reason in their mind to invade the Ukraine. Or I should say Ukraine. People keep correcting me. I don't know. I grew up in the 80s, all right? On top of that, America had a good reason to invade Afghanistan or Iraq. Every country has a good reason. Doesn't mean that the invasion is okay.
It's not.
Doesn't mean that war is okay.
It's not.
Doesn't matter what your reasons might be. You don't do it, right? If you're against war, you do not support invasions.
No.
Simple.
Something that we've heard, or at least I've heard, online in response to a lot of our videos and stuff like this, is that we should, I want to be clear on our stance, okay? That we should allow Russia to take Ukraine to prevent global catastrophe. And it's the same and this, by the way, this is not a paid response. I'm not talking about Russian Kremlin bots or Wu Mao here, Chinese bots. It's a pretty, I'm not going to say the popular opinion, it's definitely in the minority, but it's an opinion that keeps going around and causing debates in our videos and comment sections and stuff like this. And again, it's that Russia should, it's bad, but Russia should take Ukraine and then the West should allow it to happen, because then we can avoid World War III and we can avoid future catastrophe. And we heard the exact same thing when it comes to China. And this, but from the China side, it comes from the CCP supporters, or at least the people that think that they need to be placated. And we stand in the face of that. That is not okay. You do not allow evil to prevail. I know this is not Star Wars or some freaking fairy tale movie or something, but there is good and evil, and it is evil to take lives and invade sovereign territory. And number two, it's not justified just to make future problems go away, right? And I think I can speak on behalf of both of us when I say that.
Yeah, look, it's been a very common tactic lately. When you see a lot of commentators who are supporting China, what they'll say is, we need to work together,
Yeah.
And what we need to do in order for there to be peace, and we're going to find this way to work together, and what we need to do is allow China to just do whatever the hell it wants and don't ever say anything about it. And that's how we work together.
Yeah.
For instance, we should allow China to just, I don't know, genocide the Uyghurs and have their concentration camps.
Because
it's their country. It's their way to deal with things. Let them do it, Don't oppose the Beijing Olympics, because you know what? That's not supposed to be political. It doesn't matter if they're doing genocide. It doesn't matter if there's forced labor. It doesn't matter if they're taking away the freedoms from the people in Hong Kong. It doesn't matter that they keep threatening to invade Taiwan. It doesn't matter that they keep doing all these nasty things. Let them do it.
See, what you're saying is you're talking about a snowball effect here.
Yeah.
This is why appeasement in these scenarios, when you're talking with despotic, crazy people like Xi Jinping and Putin, it doesn't work out. The appeasement doesn't work out, because what's next? What do you think? Putin's not going to take Moldova next? Do you think he's not going to storm into Romania next after that? What do you think? China's going to stop with Taiwan?
Just imagine take yourself back to World War II. If the Allies said, you know what, just let Hitler have Poland.
Yeah.
Just let him. Yeah, he took
Same
the
logic.
Rhineland. Just let him take that. You know what? Let Hitler just take all of Europe, because historically it kind of was Germany's anyway.
Yeah.
Let him have it. Just we
let
should
Japan
evolve.
take China.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, just let Japan take China.
Yeah.
You know what? That's their own thing.
Yeah.
Let them deal with their own internal thing by themselves. That's not how it works, guys. And so everyone who's saying, "Oh, just let Putin take the Ukraine," or
can avoid conflict.
Just let China take Taiwan.
Yeah.
Just let China take the Uyghurs and do what they want to do. You know what? That's not how it works.
No.
Okay?
No.
So we stand on the whole point of, you know what? Stop. Okay? No invasions, no war.
Correct.